Morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone and depending from where you are watching us from. This is from 101 TV. We are live and we are direct. Please, if today is the first time of coming across our video and you like the way we are propagating the gospel of Biafra, please subscribe, like, and share. This platform, this TV, this channel is all about political education. And for now, we are using Ibrahim Traore as a case study. All right. Some people one thing about West, these guys believe in propaganda so much. I could remember when Ukraine and Russia war started. I know some of my friends, they were watching all these fake news, according to our man, Donald Trump, first CNN, BBC, ACB, whatever, first them as fake news. Each time we discuss about the war, they will be telling me how Ukraine is dealing with Russia. And I will keep asking them, where are you guys getting this information? As they will call me and say, come on, watch CNN, look at what is going on here. I said, God. So, in this 21st century, you guys are still watching fake news. So these guys are fake news now. And Russia is dealing with Ukraine mercilessly. We are arguing this back and front. But when the reality dawned on Ukraine, he started calling me. Someone said he would never watch CNN. I said, why would you be watching CNN at first place? These guys they are known for their lies and deceit now. Even they contributed to the war and to the damages, of which I don't know how, if Ukraine can ever be rebuilt the way it used to be before. Imagine Ukraine that was known for tourism and education. I could remember 2008, I got an admission in one of the university there, Radio University of Ukraine. Radio University, I got an admission. Back then, every student in Nigeria, our dream and aspiration is to travel to Ukraine to further our education. Then I wanted to go there to do my master's because that was when I was about graduating from university. My dream then was to go there to do my master's. But that one aside, this fake media they came up with, the way Russia is getting hold of Africa, that they will turn Africa into another thing, that they will do Africa this, they will do Africa that, they will loot Africa, they will use Putin will use his autocratic influence on Africa. All manner of things. But all these things, they are doing all they could to work on the minds of Africa. But let me tell you, Africans, who is believing in these guys, man, damn it, forget them. Forget about these guys. They are just trying to play on our minds and our intelligence. There's something Putin said. He said, there's no resources they don't have. What is that natural resources they don't have in Russia? That they are even looking for market to sell their resources. They are not in Africa. They are not in Africa to milk Africa the way Westerners are doing. They are only there to help them, alleviate them from poverty, And they are also there to help the ones who are under neocolonialism, to liberate them from neocolonialism. That's their sole aim of being in Africa. That's their sole aim. And if you check the history of Russia, we've not had that history that Russia colonized anybody. They've not. Russia have never, except during Biafran War, which they deceived them, which Britain deceived them that another Japan want to emerge from Africa. And the Russia, then they were answering USSR. They volunteered some people that are flying helicopter or bomber jet for them, of which they later regretted all their actions. And then they were answering USSR. Then the head of state or the president of Russia back then came from Ukraine. He was the one that ordered, or the one that volunteered, or the one that gave Nigeria pilots that we are bombarding Biafrans, even innocent, vulnerable women and children, hospital and markets. Today, what is happening in Ukraine, that place the guy came from. That same cup he used to measure for Biafrans, that same cup today is being used to measure for him. And you want to tell me that karma is not real? Karma is real. After how many years, that thing he wished for Biafra, that thing he participated, because the shelling and the bombardment was something else. Bombarding civilian populated places, which is against the ethics of war. What is happening today in that same Ukraine? Because the man ruling them then in USSR came from Ukraine. So to people who believe that Russia is coming to Africa to loot us to milk us, man, don't listen to this fake media. Don't listen to these Western medias. They are trying to play on our mind and on our intelligence. We are in a digital world. There is no information you want to get that you cannot get. We can source information and get the accurate information. So don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. You will listen to what our Bobo said here. His submission, his analysis about Russia and Africa. And all the things he said here is nothing but the truth. I myself, I know already. I know already. The Foreign Affairs Minister of Russia said they are willing to liberate any African nation who are still under the no colonialist or no colonialism, including people in the Bight of Biafra. He said so. Yes, he said so. And he passed a message to us, we Biafrans. He passed a message to us. That is why it's somehow important and necessary that one cast his net upon many waters. We can put our eggs in one basket. As we are putting our eyes in Washington, we also need to put our eyes in Moscow. If they ask me to say my mind, my own opinion, you see Moscow, we need Moscow more. You know why we need Moscow more? In this Europe, Buckingham Palace Buckingham Palace, which is Britain, have prized Russia so much. They have prized Russia so much. They see Russia as their number one enemy. And Russia, in return, want to do anything possible to make sure that Buckingham Palace, which is Britain, this their eyes, sees their ear. Moscow knows vividly that what is sustaining Buckingham Palace is from Africa, which is Nigeria. Of which, if we give them chance, we Biafrans give them chance, they will just step in and unplug that source in which Britain is being sustained. If we give them chance. You know, most people don't understand what happened in Niger. Most people don't understand what played out in Niger. Let me tell you guys what played out in Niger. You know, when the fight was going on, the Western Europe with America, they were thinking, because even at that heat up, even as that war was going on, they were buying gas and other like uranium from Russia. Even when that war was going on, they were buying it from them. So they started making calculation. We placed sanction on these guys. We placed sanction on them because if you could remember, they placed series of sanctions on Russia. But they are still buying gas from Russia. You know what Russia did? Russia said, okay, you will not buy our gas again with dollars. You have to buy it with ruble, our own currency. This become a puzzle. This become a very, in fact, it becomes a game changer. That is why Russia could sustain in the war. So these Western guys, they were like, what are we going to do to boycott Russia? They now came up with this idea, okay, this Trans-Sahara pipeline they want to install from Nigeria, Delta State to Europe. They have to commence the project. They've started it, but at a point it paused. So they have to continue with the project. You know what Moscow did? You know what Putin did? Putin said, okay, no wahala for this game. Him, the former KGB director, we go play this game. This game again where we know very well. You know what the guy did? He sponsored a coup in Niger. See that coup that took place in Niger? It was sponsored by Moscow. They sponsored that coup. Military takeover. If you can recall, when they go as Abuja, France, Britain, they were ranting, telling the Mugu where they Asorok, they must do something, they must do this, they must do that. As they were doing all this ranting, you know what Moscow did? They sent Wagner. They sent Wagner to Niger. May they go there, go station. May the team, with that thing, we won't happen tomorrow, make it happen today. Citizen, in the other hand, the citizens of Niger said, we are tired of this world. We are tired of Monaco. We are tired of France. May they pack their bag and baggages and leave Niger. You know what the first thing that the military head of state that took over said? He said, that pipeline. He said, don't stop them. May that no enter in territory. And don't forget, that pipeline must pass Niger to Morocco, from Morocco to Europe. Now the guy said he no need this pipeline from in territory. That is why the project stopped. They think they can outsmart Putin, but finally Putin outsmarted them. Military takeover, they stop it. And at the end of the day, they don't have option again than to buy the crude or they buy the gas from Moscow. This thing I said here is what just played out. They were ranting, talking all manner of things. Even when the Niger citizens, they went to the military base, French military base, and asked them to leave. As they placed sanction on Niger, the citizens of Niger placed sanction on the military base of France in Niger. They were there. They couldn't allow even water and food to enter their barracks. They said they will stay here. They stayed there up to 1 week to 2 weeks. Said they are going nowhere. As they were there, they were flying Russia flag. Flying Russia flag. France discovered that, man, what did they play for Niger? Moscow hand is involved. Now they discharge. This is what just played out in this Niger queue, whatever. As ECOWAS do. Northern people come one Tinubu say this one where they form say anything where you get to do with France. That one are entirely up to you because them from the north no say if it's sub. Now then where they not go collect them. Woto. Even Niger come they ask Nigeria, even during the war, now them still help them fight the war. They challenge Nigeria, they ask them whether they get soldier, or not even get soldier. And don't forget, this Niger, now the country where the one that left office build road to that place, construct road to that place. They bought how many SUV and sent to Niger. They built a refinery to Niger. As I'm talking to you guys now, before you, as a Nigeria, before you cannot use ECOWAS passport. This is your passport to enter Niger. A lot they happen. Anyways, we got to be educating ourselves on what is playing out because we cannot get this Biafra without knowing the international politics and how to play the politics. We must master how to play these politics to get what we want. Yes, very important. So in conclusion, I want you guys to listen to what this Bobo said about the role people who claim that Moscow will overwhelm Africa. Just watch. I greet you all. Peace and love.
Somebody said the other day that Russia's influence toward Africa is not pure, that Russia would be a bad influence to Africa. I don't know who you are, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you what you don't understand. Africa stands with Russia. Africa supports Russia all the way. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm making this point. I can guarantee you a lot of Africans watching the video right now would take the same stand like I have just taken. We stand with Russia. In the last, nearly 60, 70, 80, 90 years, we know what the United States had done to Africa. We know the influence Europe had on Africa. And I can guarantee you, I can tell you this 100%. They were all bad influence. They exploited Africa and they are still exploiting Africa up to today. The intentions of the United States and Europe toward Africa on the real is not good. Business, when you're doing business with someone, it's supposed to be give and take. But all Europe and the United States are done to Africa generally is exploit Africa to the core. And that is the brutal, honest truth. So, before you sit there and type comment to say, United States is helping Africa or Europe is helping Africa, please don't put that comment on this video, because we know what they have done to Africa. We know what they are still doing to Africa today. Africa has been destroyed. Africa had been put on the back seat for so long by the European and the American influence because they don't want Africa to wake up. They want to keep Africa on the loop so that when they want something, they come and take it, and when they're done, they abandon you. So we know what the European influence and the American influence had done to Africa in the last 100 years. And we have had enough. Enough. If following Russia is going to be a risk we have to take, we will take that risk. We are going to take that risk. We want changes. We need change in Africa. So before you sit your fat behind on the sofa at home, writing comment, talking nonsense that Russia's influence toward Africa is bad, please educate yourself next time before you put a comment like that on my video, because we know what we want. We know where we come from. We know how long it had taken Africa to get to where it is today. And we know those people that contributed to the development of Africa. We know those people that are still contributing to the destruction of Africa. Enough is enough. We will take the risk and go with Russia. Africa stands with Russia. That is my point. And I'm sure a lot of Africans watching this video right now will probably support my point. If you don't, leave a comment, let me know why you don't. And if you do, let me know in the comment section. So to that person, whoever you are, that say Africa, Russia influence is bad for Africa, Russia is no good for Africa, please keep your story to yourself.